basement, no longer alone, with my homegirl Terez on the microphone. Music, politics, or just chatting it up. Brunch in the basement, see that's what's up. You never know who might run through. Legendary artist or someone brand new. You miss a lot when you miss one day. At least that's what I heard somebody say. But it doesn't really matter what whoever says. It's always a good show with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Brunch in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Let's see who we got today or what we doing today or whatever it is, it's gonna be good. Woo!
I love you all so much.
Just whatever the first thing that
Adam and Eve.
we can see you now.
I know, and thank God.
Yeah, that's generally the response we get from everybody, but we keep it clean.
Rez, I'm so sorry that I'm late. I don't know what the hell happened to me. I was early this morning and got distracted and exactly.
Right, we have the going out of the new year, last taping of the new year.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about it. I'm so looking forward to 2025. I really am. I'm hopeful that it's going to be a better year than the last 2 years. You know, I've just been through so much over the past couple of years that, you know, it's just got to get better.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It will be. It will be a better year. It will be a better year. Things are changing. They're changing rapidly. And I'm just going to go ahead and declare it right now. It's going to be a better year. That's it.
And I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. How was your Christmas? Are you celebrating Kwanzaa? What is going on in your holiday celebratory life?
Well, you know, I don't celebrate Chromos. It is quite the pagan holiday. And I hope no kids are listening, that we don't want to ruin the image of the older mayonnaise flavored mammal coming down your chimney.
Lord.
I just, but what I do celebrate is any time to fellowship with family and, Jesucristo was not born in the winter. It's a lot of things we're uncovering, and quite frankly, that's what I celebrate. I celebrate love. I celebrate light, and the holidays. So you often hear me say, as opposed to Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hanukkah fell on, in sync with us this year of the celebration of Christmas. And we have Kwanzaa that we are now in. So, there's a lot of holidays. I have a lot of Muslim friends, and they don't celebrate Christmas. And, it's just a thing that we have to do. We have to make sure, I don't know, you didn't expect all this in the answer of how was your holiday, right? I can see it in your face. Right?
No, it's fine. This is cool. I dig it,
we kind of have to, in the eve of people wanting to abolish books and things like that, we have to keep the truth of the matter. It's nothing wrong with the truth. And if you still choose to do what you do after that, then you do so knowing.
The truth will set you free, literally free, And, when you talk about the clause, it is a clause. It is a clause. And one of the reasons, I'm glad you took it there, because I often say that 100 years from now, if things continue to go in the direction they're going, MLK will be depicted as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed gentleman who was all about civil rights and gave a great big speech. In the 1500s, there was a Black man who was not a priest, but a monk. Okay. And he was known for giving away things to children. He was a patron saint of children, and he would give things. He was a black man. He was black.
Mm-hmm.
He was Saint Nicholas,
Mm.
a black man. Look it up. Okay? I dare you. I promise you. Look it up. It's either the 15 or 1600s. Black man, Saint Nicholas, has now become what we know and perceive as Santa Claus. Give him 100 years. I wish I could, like, in 100 years from now, tap you on the shoulder and say, look at them fools. You see? Didn't I tell you? I don't know what the currency is in heaven, but give me some pesos or whatever they got.
Yeah, jolly old Saint Nick's has now been reduced to a jolly old.
Yeah. So on that accord, look what I found.
Around the table, family is everything. Jingle bells, familiar smells, and all the things that season brings. Shiny lights, red, green, blue, and white. Mama's sweet potato pie. These are the things a holiday brings. Things that make your spirit sing. Happy, happy holiday. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Make this a holiday. It's a special day. Special holiday. Holiday. Happy holiday. Memories of days gone by. You and me, family.
Fun.
Yes.
Allison, right?
Huh?
Is that Allison Williams?
Yes, it's Allison. Alley Cat.
Shout out to Alley Cat Williams.
I know. You know what? I need to stop being lazy, and I need to contact her and have her come back on the show.
Yeah.
I remember during the whole COVID thing, us being very, very concerned about her. And we have to have her back. Just everybody. I've made a commitment in my mind to recommit to inviting people back on. I spoke to Oya a couple of weeks ago. Remember, did you just love Oya?
Yes.
I just love Oya. You know, so many great people. Speaking of which, just for those of you who watch the show regularly and have been watching over the years, just know that Nathan James will be joining us today because Nathan actually sent me a text this morning, hit me up this very morning saying, this information and that information, I think it would be interesting if y'all discussed it on the show today. And I'm like, well, that's great information, but since you have it, and I, like I told you, I have not been paying attention.
Resting.
Yeah, I've really been relax, relate, release, which is why we have Gigi come on the show, and she can keep us updated with all the news and stuff like that. She's younger than I am. I can't.
No, it's a good practice, and actually, it says a lot for women resting.
Yeah, self-care.
And yeah, resting. And it does the body good. Quite frankly, I have not turned on any deliberate news. Other than what comes through my social media timelines. And I try not to spend too much time with that. You'll still get whatever you get. And, that's it.
Yes. Now, also before we bring on the guests, and usually, I don't know, maybe we want to do it the opposite way. Yeah, bring everybody on first and then do the celebratory stuff after that. Like, let's start it off heavy and then lighten it up at the end. Because also what I realized this morning is that I'm trying to go live at the same time on TikTok. So,
Taki.
you know, Tammy too much, doing it again, whatever. Right? Just to, start this up. And I think I found a new platform that's going to encompass all of this. People will be able to call in and comment in the sections and everything. And I could send it out to everywhere all in one program so that it's program do too much and not Tammy too much. Although it makes me scared that if one thing blows, everything is going to blow because it's one system.
You can't, I mean.
Yeah, remember those record players that you
All
had
in one.
LPs and then you had your cassette deck and your radio,
Mm-hmm.
and one thing mess up the whole damn thing. Although sometimes the tape player would stop playing, but you could still play your records.
Yes.
So anyway.
I remember that when integration happened in the I thought it was the hot and Sears was open. That's where I got my first when I was a kid.
Yes.
My first all-in-one. You can tell me nothing.
I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. Also today, I have a new person for us to celebrate. Well, he's not new, but the information was new for me. Okay. So I love to bring that to the table. And I was in a heated debate with someone. Not a heated debate. It wasn't a debate. I was being told that I play victim to the world.
Victim to the world.
Yeah, like all these things are happening politically and I'm so put upon because of it. Oh shoot, you know what? They can only hear me right now because I didn't plug. See, Tammy too much. There's always an extra damn plug. They can't even hear us. Hold up, TikTokies. Hold on. Now they should. Oh, wait a minute. Now I'm hearing too much. I'm hearing myself. Yeah. Maybe we'll forego TikTok today because that was too much. Anyway, yeah. So I'm like a victim. Like, oh, they do this at work and or they do this and but I had to explain that no, when there's something that's going on, I don't necessarily fight or react in the same way as everybody else. I'm not a fucking victim. When things happen, things happen politically. Even though I'm tired, I started up the podcast again. I'm like, Rezzy, we got to do this. We got to fight together. Please help me fight. Pop, come on, everybody. Gigi. I pulled Gigi out the hat. Come on. Like, who knows about this stuff? Nathan wasn't feeling well. So, Gigi, I knew had read the whole goddamn 2025 project. Wow. Do something. That's me all day.
Right.
I don't just sit back and allow things to happen and it's like, oh well, things are happening, nothing I can do. What can I do in my small space in the world? It may make me a little uncomfortable, but discomfort is the beginning of change. You have to move outside your comfort level. And when there's more time and space, motherfuckers need to watch out because what did I do in the past when I was concerned about marriage equality? What did I do? I didn't have no money, didn't know nobody, didn't know shit. And basically still, even though I'm in Jersey, it's like a foreign land to me because I'm a New Yorker, right? So if you are not from a place, and you are trying to do an event and you don't know nobody, you know. And yes, thank you, Nathan. Nathan said the equality song. Yeah, what about that? Yes, music video. You use your talents and whatever you have to get what you want and go where you want to go. Hey, Poppy Chulo.
Travel mercies, Poppy.
We love you, Pop. And so, Pop, I was saying, oh, you're gonna be on El Bicho. But guess what? I found out that El Bicho is not the name for the beach. It's the name for something else.
Playa.
Yeah, La Playa is the beach, but El Bicho. Anyway.
Have fun, Chulo. Get some
yes,
tan.
enjoy yourself, Poppy.
I would say get tan lines, but I already know.
Let it all hang out.
Tan.
You know what? Let's bring Gigi on, and then right after we're gonna bring on Nathan. And also, I just wanted to say that there are two of our basement alumni that later on in the show I'd like to kind of show their rapid fires because it's their birthday. Two of them have a birthday today. So I wanted to do that. But let's bring on Gigi and then we'll bring on Nathan and bring them both together so that they can discuss these things. Maybe they both know about it. I don't know. But hey, Gigi Ouija, how you doing, sweetheart?
Hello.
Oh.
Happy Saturday. How are you?
Right back at you. So what's going on in the world today, Gigi? What do you know that I don't know?
First, I want to say happy holiday, as Rez said, right? You know, I was listening to you talk about the whole Christmas thing. And let me tell you, my family could not stand me because I told my children from day one, there's, and they hated that for me, that I did that. I'm like, I don't lie to my kids. It's a lie. I'm like, I'm up here. Hi, Nathan. What's up, Pop? Thank you. Love you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, he's such a beautiful soul. Love him.
Yes, he is.
And, I just didn't feed into that nonsense. And, my family did not like it. Why are you stealing that from them? And da-da-da. I'm like, because I'm not lying. I'm busting my behind to give them what they want and need. And then I'm giving the credit to some, what?
Yeah.
No, not doing that. So I guess all along, even when I was younger, I was definitely woke when it comes to some things, right?
Nice.
So it's happy holidays to everyone.
Happy holidays.
So let's see, where do we start? It has been a crazy ass week, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I can't.
Really?
These people. Let me tell you something. If they not fighting us, they fighting each other. So the funnier part is when they back there fighting each other. Because we can just sit back. I wish I had some popcorn. But since I don't and I got a smoothie, this is me.
You know what? I did see something about the infighting and how they are, Elon Musk has now shut down some people's Twitter accounts or X accounts or whatever.
Okay.
And so they're like, but wait a minute, we're the supporters. And he's like, I don't care, you don't support me. You support Lady Eloise. And I'm shutting you down.
Well, how about the letter that Lady Eloise allegedly wrote talking about, listen, he's trying to set the record straight. I saw it posted on, I think, D.L. Hughley's page. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. That Elon cannot be the president?
That he's not, Because he's not American, So he was crying, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but neither is your wife, so she can't be first lady? I mean, what are you saying? Things
figure out stuff when y'all want it.
Yeah, right?
So let's start with the X Factor. Okay, so Mr. Apartheid over there. So I don't know, y'all know who Loomer is?
Yeah,
one of the MAGA people.
Yeah,
big,
yeah.
Okay, her, right? So
Laura
Luma, right? So Laura Luma got upset because she clapped back at him, right? Nathan said he lied on his J1B visa. Yeah, well, they all lie. Yeah, Nathan, can't wait till you get on here. So they started going back and forth about some stuff previous that week. And because he didn't like Laura Galuma, she did. Let me tell you something. He got so angry that he decided to he didn't get rid of her account, but he paused so she couldn't make any money. He removed her blue check mark. He made it so she couldn't respond to stuff, and then tried to say it had to do with something that she said regarding racism. Like, boy, bye.
Yeah, the whole platform now is racist. But hold up, so from what I saw, they said that even her subscribers have gotten blocked or whatever, and they can't make money, so they're mad. So now there's like a whole infighting.
Yes.
Like the Clampets have gone to war.
Weaponize the platform.
Like hee-haw versus the hillbillies, right?
Right. But see, the biggest thing is they said that, they are the party of free speech and being able to say whatever, and apartheid man up here saying, yes, this is the platform for you to be able to say what you want. That's what he ran on when it came to X, right?
Yeah.
But now we tried to tell y'all that was a lie.
Right.
We tried to tell you
as long as you are talking about brown people.
Correct. They're all for
people,
but
you can talk about anybody but them.
As soon as they came back and said something that he didn't like, now he's shut. And it's not just her; it's a lot of them.
The hypocrisy.
Man, listen, ladies. All right, we supposed to be like, oh my God,
we are swimming in hypocrisy.
It isn't so faithful.
It's almost too bad. It's almost too bad that I got off that platform, because I would love to sit back and watch, but I don't want anything to do with them.
Me either. I've been shut my account down. As soon as he took over, I was like.
It got to the point that they had actual porn, live porn, like sausage and meatballs and patties. I was like, what the heck in the morning am I looking at? Free of charge.
You want to know what's interesting though, out of all of this? They still won't comprehend that they are being censored, right? They still won't comprehend that. They'll still, for some reason, stay on there and continue doing what they do, and then just let it go over their heads that, oh, this was like a one-off. That's what they're going to do.
They just have a different tolerance for the ear of others.
Correct.
The moment we start, there's this tremendous show of fear and us organizing. That's what it is to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
When we sound like we're organizing or sound like it becomes, oh no. But they can speak because it's nothing,
But you know what, Rez, keep that very fact in your mind, because when we talk about the person that we're going to talk about today, it kind of speaks to that. So the Black History person, it kind of speaks to that whole thing. Like when they are afraid of the Browning.
The Browning of America.
Okay, just pin that in your cap, because that's a good one. Let's bring Nathan on right now. Nathan James, everybody.
Nathan. Hey, Nathan.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you?
Good.
Good, Nathan. Welcome.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. I hope everyone enjoys the wonder and blessings of the season and is having a wonderful time.
Yes,
absolutely. So Nathan, you sent me some information, and let me just do a prerequisite on this. Since the election, right? And once I let it seep in, one thing I don't want to do is give myself and others false hope. However, I do want to know what is possible for the Democrats to do. What could they even do if they could do anything? And if the, just because they could don't mean they will, because they act like their spines are not connected to the neck bone or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, but I love to get the information regarding what lawfully can be done and what's
Okay.
going on. So give it to us, Nathan.
Okay. I mean, let me start by saying if the Democrats in Congress will put a brave face on this, it is, however, it may be a long shot, but it is possible for Kamala Harris to become the president elect, despite everything that has happened so far. Let me explain what is going on. We previously discussed Section 3 of the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution. Okay, this was one of two amendments added to the Constitution at the end of the Civil War. The 14th Amendment has its roots in slavery because it guarantees citizenship to everyone who is born or naturalized here. This was to prevent the slaves, having been emancipated at the end of the war, from being denied their full rights as citizens because they had been born here in slavery. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment goes further and says if you, as an elected official on any level, federal, state, or local, ever swore an oath to preserve, protect, and to defend the Constitution, when I got sworn in, that's exactly what I had to say. I had to swear allegiance to the United States Constitution, not to the mayor or the governor or the president. Having done that, if you then aid an insurrection, take part in an insurrection, give aid and comfort to our enemies, then you are disqualified from holding public office on the federal, state, or local level. The reason that this was added was to prevent people who had fought or served on the side of the Confederacy from returning to offices like the House of Representatives after the war was over. And several former Confederates tried to do this and were disqualified by Congress for making the attempt. We even had a president of the United States, John Tyler, who served from 1841 to 1845. After he was president and the Civil War broke out, he served in the Confederate House of Representatives. Had he attempted to run for Congress, he would have been disqualified under the 14th Amendment, which brings me to Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump, under the way the 14th Amendment, Section 3 is written, and which two courts in the United States have already affirmed, is a disqualified candidate. The Colorado Trial Court and the Colorado Supreme Court both agreed that because Donald Trump took part and incited the January 6th insurrection against the Capitol, that he is disqualified. The original case that they heard was to remove Trump from the primary ballot in Colorado because he was disqualified. It went to the United States Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, no, you cannot disqualify a candidate from the ballot. But interestingly enough, the Supreme Court did not address the question of Trump's qualification to serve as president. That brings me to what I was sending JaVonne today. On January 3rd, a new House of Representatives will be sworn in, the representatives elect. And they must first elect a speaker, which is likely not to be Mike Johnson, but I'm going to come back to that later. On January 6th, the election must be certified. That's the mandatory day in which the electoral count must be certified. The Electoral Count Act, which spells out how this is to be done, was revised and amended 4 years ago. 2 years ago, in 2022, because of the January 6th insurrection. And it now requires that 20% of each House of Congress, which is 87 Democrats in the House and 21 in the Senate, 20% of the members are needed to object to an electoral vote or electoral votes for a given candidate. If both houses, 20% of both houses vote to object to electoral votes because, for example, Trump is disqualified, then it goes to a full floor vote in each house. Each house then votes to accept or reject the electoral votes of that particular candidate. In the case of Donald Trump, for example, in order for him to be ineligible to serve as president, he must be disqualified by at least the number of votes that are the difference between himself and Kamala. In other words, 86 electoral votes. If the Democrats put a brave face on this and get a few Republicans to join them,
That's the question.
Trump could be disqualified, and Kamala Harris, having no disqualification and all her electoral votes therefore being valid, would become the president-elect. Leaving out of that equation for a moment the absolute turmoil this would create amongst the MAGA cult and how this would create public uproar. However, this is provided for in the Constitution, and the fun part is, if such a scenario were to take place, it is not reviewable by the Supreme Court because this is a constitutional procedure that is set out in an amendment. So it's not just okay, it's a requirement. So that's how we get to Kamala being president-elect in spite of everything that we've gone through.
There also has to be a Speaker of the House, right?
That's the second part of what I'm going to tell you. You're correct. Now, the Republicans, which have in fact gone through 4 speakers of the House in the past year, and cannot get it together. And keep in mind, the speaker is the second in line to the presidency. They should really have a little bit more comportment for that. But in the case of the House, the Speaker of the House, because of the drama over the budget bill that we just went through to avoid a government shutdown, you remember that Mike Johnson and Trump and Elon got into it over the terms of the bill that had originally been proposed, so they had to come up with another CR to get this bill passed and avoid a government shutdown, but they didn't like the bill that was passed and signed by President Biden. So now Republicans are saying we may have a vote of no confidence in Mike Johnson. So he may not be the speaker on January 3rd when the new Congress is seated. If that is a problem, if they have no speaker 3 days later, when the election is required to be certified by Section 2 of the Constitution, then the election is going to be delayed because both houses must have their full membership, including a speaker. And by the way, the Speaker of the House does not have to be a member. So imagine if the Republicans wanted to elect Elon Musk to that. Yeah.
To that he doesn't want it, though.
But they could conceivably do that. But what I think could happen is...
But even though he's not, is he a citizen? Is he qualified?
He's naturalized. He can be
naturalized.
He cannot be the
he
president.
Can't be the president, but he could be speaker. But then, how could you be speaker when that puts you in line for the presidency?
But that's how he ends up being. That's how he could end up being. That's why I said they keep acting like it's not a possibility, but it is.
Yeah. So anyway,
slimery mother. Go ahead.
What I think is possible is they may go through this turmoil because keep in mind, they're not going to not re-elect Mike Johnson as Speaker of the House. They're not going to keep him there on January 3rd, only to have to re-elect a new speaker 3 weeks later before the inauguration. Right. I think Mike is done. I think Johnson is done. I think Trump and Elon have made that very clear. This sets up a problem where they now have to find a new speaker to swear in the new members of the House. The clerk of the House of Representatives can technically do that. So that might be one solution, but they still need a speaker because if the election is not certified by January 20th, inauguration day, when Biden's term legally comes to an end at 12 noon, there cannot be any swearing in for Trump because the election will not have been certified if there is no speaker. Can we say again that we live in interesting times?
Definitely interesting times, Nathan.
Isn't it interesting how President Musk is just all over on every set? You know, it's just, and I know I say President Musk deliberately because it's interesting. Like he's over every set, you know, and how this happened. I didn't see him running. I didn't see his campaigning, although he was very much in the background, you know, foreground. He's on every set, as we say.
Because Lady Eloise is weak to the dollar. Weak to the dollar. Has been bought and sold by Russia, has been bought and sold by Elon, has been bought and sold by the Arabians and the Saudis and
everybody.
Just bought and sold.
Everybody.
It's just ridiculous.
And in the meantime, nobody's minding the store at home. Can you imagine? Can you imagine January 20th gets here and we can't swear in a president of the United States from either party because there is no Speaker of the House because the Republicans haven't got their what together.
Well, we should have another year then. Another year of the same until they get together. If you're not ready by January 20th, guess what? Reset until you are, so that extends another year for the presidency currently. That's how you do it. Finish. Yeah, finish it.
It's ridiculous.
And by the way, Terez, if you keep calling him President Musk, he will kick you off Twitter.
That's all it takes. Man. Let's see if I can accomplish that goal.
So Nathan, so it sounds as though you're saying if they don't get it together. So here's the problem, though. There's not enough Republicans that will vote against whatever Lady Eloise and the Muskrat wants. There's just not enough. So, I mean, whatever they and here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, that the president should not be in control of the House of Representatives. It's supposed to be 3 separate branches, right? And
yeah,
you know, this guy, because of I think the mighty dollar,
we've already seen
the mighty dollar and racism, quite frankly. They have all folded and decided to give it to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
They understand that he's inept. They understand that he's unqualified. They understand that he's vicious, but it's almost like having a pet snake that's poisonous, but because it's your pet, you think it won't bite you until you get lured, right?
And the Democrats just don't have it in them. They just don't have it in them.
But he gives that poem all the time. He reads that same snake poem to his constituents all the time, saying the snake. And then you were surprised. So it's not like he doesn't tell them.
But that's what they like about him. That's
right.
He says it just as it is.
I will say this: we Democrats need to be much more proactive. No longer in the camp of we go high when they go low. I think we really need to take the gloves off because the consequences of not doing so are too grave to ignore.
Yeah,
I think, Nathan, even though you gave a nice scenario, a nice possibility, I think it's too late. If what you're saying is our only shot, we're not gonna. That's not gonna work because they are going to ensure that everything goes smoothly. They want him to be the president. They want whatever the kudos are, whatever dirty secrets he has about them.
Comes with him.
They want the power. They
Yeah.
want that
And
power.
I think there's some Democrats that are also in the pockets
cahoots.
of him. Yeah,
You never know.
I always did, and that's why I believe a lot of this stuff has been going on the way it has as well. It needs to be cleaned on both sides.
Yeah,
both sides.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you know, the thing is, and at least some of them, two of them, I think, have been booted out that we know of. That's good.
Cinema and Manchin.
Yeah,
Cinema.
Manchin. I mean,
see, them are two.
Just the whole idea, and she was blatant with it. She was sitting on this side of the aisle.
That's what I'm saying. And there's more of them like that.
Yeah.
There's more of them like
Cash rules everything.
And
right.
It was like, oh, but why aren't they doing this and why aren't they doing it? Because they didn't have the vote. Oh, but they had the majority, but they had two Republicans in Democrat clothing.
That's it.
So that's why. That's why. You know, like people ask why. Read.
Has he been found guilty of the insurrection?
He only in Colorado, right? Didn't they find him guilty?
He in the Colorado courts. The trial court was in a civil case. The objective of the plaintiff was to get Trump off the primary ballot, and the trial judge ruled that Trump had, in fact, given aid and comfort to the insurrection because he incited it. That's not the same as a criminal conviction, but he was adjudicated so. The Colorado Supreme Court upheld this, and the United States Supreme Court, of course, punted by saying, we're not concerned with whether Trump is on the ballot or not. We're not going to address whether he is disqualified from office because we think he is. We're saying you just can't keep him off the ballot for that reason.
Right. So is this somewhat in the land of semantic then? Because technically we're talking about someone that has been convicted of, treason, if you will, right? Or the insurrection, but he hasn't actually been convicted.
So we can chalk that up to Mitch McConnell because the House of Representatives, quote unquote, kind of indicted him on insurrection charges, the House of Representatives. And then, so they impeached him. And so that's the same thing as an indictment at that level. And so it's up to the Senate, which is sort of like the jury that convicts. And Mitch McConnell refused to convict and said that we know that he is responsible. He did this, and it's a shame, but we're going to let the people decide. Instead of him doing his freaking job, he punted. They keep punting. They're saying, it's funny. They're not saying, and he's not even saying that he's not guilty. They're all just saying that he shouldn't be charged. He shouldn't be held accountable.
Well, the Supreme Court then said before that an active president, if he's doing this in the line of duty, how does that factor?
Attempting to overthrow the government of the United States in no way can be construed an official act.
Correct.
And Trump was not acting as president when he decided the election. He was acting as candidate Trump on his own behalf.
Correct.
So the court hearings that were getting ready to take place have now been stopped because he was reelected, because the quote unquote people wanted him back in office, which is ridiculous.
So there are no Democrats as smart as the four of us that can speak truth. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, they'll know the information and then act like, well, let me see what everybody else is doing. It only takes one to spark it and then stand on business. Like,
well, we know, Crockett and what is her name? I love her. Yeah, and The other one, the bald head lady, I love her
Yes,
too.
yes, Ayana.
Yes.
You know what? Crockett was like, so I'm
I
bringing,
love
and
Jasmine.
they were like, we object. She was like, yeah, I know you would object, but we're gonna talk about it anyway.
I love her.
I love her too. I love her too. I
Yeah.
love her too.
She's
I keep meaning to bring to download some of those TikToks with her and play it on the show because she's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I you're right. It is a flight of fancy in some ways, the scenario I described. But wouldn't it be fantastic? Keep in mind that the Republicans only have a 2-seat majority in the House right now, and they're about to lose one of those 2 seats because they just discovered that Kay Granger, a Republican, is in the dementia unit of a nursing home out in the
Yes.
Midwest. She hasn't voted on a bill in 6 months, so I think she's going to get medically retired. That leaves 1 seat. It's not a mandate. It's not a landslide like Trump says it is. And if the Democrats again could get people motivated to understand what is at risk here,
If you could
they
get
would.
2 Republicans to stand up for the Republic, is what you're saying.
That's correct. They only need 87 Democrats to fulfill the 20% requirement in the House and just 21 of them in the Senate. If they can get a few Republicans to add weight to that, it might snowball.
I wish they could vote anonymously. That probably would make all the difference in the world because once they found out, it's such a public
Yes.
lynching of sorts.
That's
Even if they
the
know
part.
it's wrong, you know?
Yeah.
That's the part. So can I ask? I want to ask Nathan. So Nathan, what do you think about Vivek and Mr. Apartheid and their whole claim about U.S. culture, comparing it to 90s sitcom TV and saying that we as Americans are, what's the word they use? Mediocre in our technology. And so now they want to open up to Indians to come across here to take tech jobs. So everybody's so quiet. Wait, they're like, wait, what?
I thought it was America first. What happened to that?
Yeah,
Oh,
I just want to
frame this.
I just want to frame my answer because Elon, among other people, he's extolling the virtues of the H-1B visa to get,
yes, he is,
quote, what he thinks are talented people from other countries like India to come to the United States, which, by the way, is in complete opposition to what Trump is saying.
To MAGA, because they are. So there go again. Another one of these moments.
You know what? They're going to implode. They are just going to implode. They're going to go after each other, and we could just sit back and watch them. Because here's the thing. When and I've learned this through my work. There's always a targeted child, right? So let's just say, for example, I'm looking at this screen and I decide, and I'm of the type that I want to target somebody, right? Well, Nathan, you're the only male here, so it's easy to make you the target. So we're gonna target Nathan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Nathan's gone, right?
Yeah.
Nathan's no longer a threat because I got y'all to join with me, and Nathan is the threat. Yeah, right? Now, then me and Terez, we've been on this show the longest. This is In the Basement with JaVonne and Terez. Look at Gigi. Come on, Terez. Let's talk about Gigi. Because the person who is a targeter will always find somebody to target.
Exactly.
Yeah. The old saying is that democracy is 2 wolves and a sheep deciding what to eat for lunch.
Exactly. Ooh. And here's the thing. Now that they feel like they've conquered the browning of America by their digital whatever the fuck they did to those votes, okay? Because the math ain't mathing. I don't.
The math don't math. You sound like my sister said the same
cheated,
thing.
They won. You will never be able to convince me that all of these Democrats won all up and down, and then they got to the top and said, I want the Cheeto. No, I can't see that. But anyway, even if it did happen, I still don't think it makes any sense. With all that being said, they feel like they have conquered the browning of America, at least temporarily, with what they've done. Now they can bring the brown people they want in.
Yeah,
but then
so
these people are going to be like, wait a minute. It's ridiculous.
yeah.
It
So
is
let me
ridiculous.
let me
They
read
haven't
this real
even
quick.
taken office yet. They
I
haven't
know.
been sworn in yet.
They haven't
me
even
read
been
this.
sworn in yet, and Elon is pushing all of a sudden. He wants all these people to come in on H-1B visas, which is specifically one thing that Trump and his campaign promised to stop. And he
Right.
wants to deport 21 million migrants. He wants to
So
put them in concentration camps and do God knows what. And here comes Elon saying, no, we need to bring in more immigrants and we'll give them H-1B visas because that makes them vulnerable here. And they will be at the mercy of whatever CEOs happen to hire them.
So
Yeah.
he's going to kick out the ones he don't like and bring in some he like.
yeah, let me read this. Let me read this really quick. So Vivek, they talk a little bit about Vivek, and he said Ramaswamy argued that mainstream culture prioritizes mediocrity over excellence, which he believes drives top tech companies to hire foreign-born engineers. His critique drew parallels to iconic 90s TV shows like Saved by the Bell and Boy Meets World, claiming they idolize popular kids over intellectual achievers. A culture that celebrates
That's true.
celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ will
Lady
not
Eloise.
produce the best engineers. He suggested that America's cultural shortcomings, which he says begin in childhood, hinder the development of highly skilled professionals. He also refuted claims that this hiring trend is due to an American IQ deficit. So
I don't know about the IQ deficit, but
that's exactly what they said, that we Americans are not smart enough for these jobs. Period.
Who are they surveying? Who are they surveying?
That being said, what?
People of color.
Wait. I'm sorry. I gotta agree on some degree. Not so much in terms of the technology, because anybody taught the right thing can excel.
Right.
However,
now that's the part they
but no. Here's the problem, and this is also something I've been saying since forever. That culturally, we have taught people this racism shit and this bullshit about who's popular and who's not, which is why we have Lady Eloise as the president, the prom queen. That is the issue. He's not wrong there.
Right, but he's not referencing. The thing is, he's not referencing them.
I understand that. But what he's saying is true, but he's using it to talk about something specific. Think about the movie with the black women who helped NASA, the mathematicians.
Yeah.
Right?
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures.
Now, you taught them mathematics. Math, right? Some of them just math, right? And they excelled. But our culture at the same time was to not let them go to the bathroom. Don't let them use the water fountain. Don't let them that's our culture. To shoot them down. That is the dumbest fucking thing. This country should be looking at people who, whatever they look like, whether they're brown, white, Asian, it doesn't matter, Indian, whatever. If they have any talent or skill, our culture should be to uplift everyone to their highest potential.
Should be, yeah.
And let them contribute to society. But the one thing this is the first time I've ever agreed with him on any fucking thing. That fucking idiot whatever the fuck his name is.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah, that asshole. Let me just say, and he's a racist prick who's brown.
Allegedly.
I
Yes.
But Ooh, that's the
So
point.
so
That's
the
the
point in
point.
this is, and I agree with you, JaVonne, to some magnitude in
That,
that.
that
But we
America
know
is
that they're
so
twisting
stupid.
it right
Right,
to their benefit.
of
So that's
course.
the part.
But the thing is to bring in Indians like himself,
Right,
right? Bring in
exactly.
Indians,
Correct.
right?
Period. Yep.
And
And then
They want
instead of developing and teaching those that are here and really
right.
giving them, but that is our culture. And
but
he's
let
Mhm.
me
right. He's right that our culture is so stupid that we don't do that.
let me point this out.
We want to keep the
Then why
foot
then
of America on and oppress the brown, brilliant, beautiful brown minds.
yes,
So
if
my point is that they're bickering back and she's like, they're bickering
it,
back and forth now with each other because now MAGA's saying this is totally against what we believe and what we want in reference to Trump, clearing out all of the migrants and closing the borders. And now you're saying you want to bring in brown people to take over our jobs, which is the whole point of us getting rid of brown people who are taking over our jobs, which is what they've been saying. And so now they're fighting inwardly regarding this because they're saying, all you have to do is look at the border and see how many want to. This is what coming from Nikki Haley. See how many want to come in here. And then you're saying that, well, we're no good. So then why are people fighting to get in here if we are no good for America? That makes no sense. So then they're saying, well, Laura Loomer, again, now she back at it. She's like, this is ridiculous. And so what are you trying to say? Now we're not good. We're not good enough Americans. And you want to bring the people in. That schools that, because they feel like what you said, their culture teaches this information at birth, where we're having to be taught. Well, if you take us and allow us Americans to be taught this information, we could do just as well. But they don't want to pay us the amount of money it would cost us to do that job. You would rather bring them over on a visa and pay them a whole lot less for doing the same thing. Isn't that what's happening here with the Mexicans? Like, and so now they're seeing
Imploding.
that they are exactly where we go again.
Which is
right
also
on
why
back
every
to
MAGA
sipping
hat
our tea
was
or
made in
smoothie.
China.
That's why you
Correct.
gotta sit back and you just gotta wait. Like I said to you guys before, I'm not gonna get anxiety pre. If I'm gonna have anxiety, I'm going to select. I'm gonna use my power to select where, in fact, I hold my anxiety. I'm going to wait to see what the fuck actually happens. Just like the what is that? The BOI situation. Now we have it. Now we don't. Now we have it. Now we don't. What are we actually doing? Because it's clear that the leadership in this country is absolutely bananas. And at any given moment, like they're going to say one thing and do something else. When they get caught, it becomes something else. The rules that are established don't apply to them. And it's like, okay, so now let's see what we get into now. Because now it's only a matter of time before it all implodes because it isn't making sense. You can't make it make sense. And we sit back and do what? Get charged? Like, no, not gonna do it.
So Elon's response to all of this, because that was all the back with Nikki and all of them. So you ready for this? This is it. So he goes on X and he says, somebody named Mario Mafal says, Elon, stop trying to optimize something that shouldn't exist. Everyone's been trained in high school and college that you answer the question convergent logic. You can't tell a professor your question is dumb or you'll get a bad grade. You have to answer the question. So here goes Elon. The reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of H-1B. Take a big step back and F yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot understand.
let me just make 2 points here about that. Number one,
Wait.
Elon did not.
I was only halfway listening because I want to say hi to Auntie Melba, who's watching us on my Facebook page. Melba Moore, God bless you. We love you.
Auntie Melba.
But hold
We're
up.
just having a spirited debate.
Who's gonna F who in the face? What happened?
Elon stated to people regarding this H-1 visa, He said the reason that he's in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of the visa. Take a big step back and F yourselves in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot understand.
Now.
But Elon did not come. Elon did not come to the United States on an H-1B visa. He came here on a J-1B student visa, which he lied about. He never went to Stanford, which sponsored him for this visa, and he didn't graduate Penn right here in Philadelphia until 4 years after he got here, and not on a student visa at all. He's not supposed to be here. That's point number one.
So he's illegal.
Yes, and and number two, if Vivek and company are so concerned about the lack of talent and intellectual ability among Americans that they must bring in people from outside the country, why is the Trump administration, of which Vivek is about to become a part,
Department
trying to abolish
of
the Department of Education department?
Because they want more money. Because getting rid of that allows them to move the money to where they want it for themselves. They could care less about that. Care less about it. And the reason he's fighting about the H-1 is because he knows it's going to benefit him fiscally. That's it. That's the only reason he's saying he's going to go to war for it. So this is why everything right now is all just blowing up between MAGA and Elon.
And they're not even in the building yet.
Right.
And the brilliant, beautiful thing is we can all sit back and watch the fireworks before they even get there, because you had this man donate millions to your campaign only to sit, and all he was doing basically was bending you over. But because your ego won't allow anything else, y'all gonna go back and forth, because remember, even though he shows up front facing as one thing, he is an African man. You know, and it's interesting. And then you have Rashwami, another you're hearing from two of the strongest voices that MAGA technically, if we want to just go on emotional, does not
didn't vote for. Right. They didn't even want them.
So at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, you're not gonna do anything with Musk because money talks, right? And greed walks. So I mean, of course, Trump is gonna embrace anybody who's gonna give him $1, because his agenda is just to get in there, because it's this whole corporation called United States. We are one plane, two different wings, but we're going in the same fucking direction in that ditch. Because at the end of the day, all you have to do is sit back and watch the fireworks of all the stuff, because it all contradicts itself.
Yeah.
It all does. It all does. They don't want to hear from Musk nor Rashwami at all. They don't want to hear.
The billionaires are talking, even though, Vivek got his money on false pretenses, cheating ass.
It all is. Anything. I learned this working in philanthropic spaces. Most money over a certain point, you better believe there's some false pretense. Three things: either murder, thievery, or a whole bunch of false pretenses at the end of it. And over a certain price point, that is what it is. That's why a lot of them give their money away, but it ain't going to assure your seat nowhere else on the karmic spiritual level than it is right now. You got.
All he did was a dump and swap. Like, that's what he did, right? That's what he did to get that money.
Listen.
It's insane. It's insane.
It is. And this is who they can continue to follow. And y'all, this is what y'all voted for. This is all I keep hearing while I'm on TikTok all day. And this is who you voted for. I hope you get exactly what you voted for.
This is definitely the era of FAFO.
Yeah. Walk around and find out.
This is definitely the era of FAFO. And, I think, in as much as I've never really had confidence in the government per se, there's just certain things. And what am I supposed to do, Brandon? I have no role. Okay, Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
Brandon. All
Oh
right,
yeah,
Brandon.
JaVonne, the Speaker of the House. Yeah, she had the mic. That's it.
You
She
know
got
what?
the mic.
I'm the host.
That's Speaker of the House. That's the Speaker of the House. You
The
got the
host
mic all the
Man,
time.
oh please. I don't want that stupid job. I don't want no government job anyway. Don't you?
I don't want no presidency.
No, me either.
Don't you dare vote for me, Brandon. But on the real tip, I've never actually I've never had confidence that any of them thought about me per se
Right.
in their dealings and when they did things, because I'm from a neighborhood that no matter what, they never fixed the streets. It was once every decade that they would repave something. You know, it was once a decade. Where I live now, it's like every damn 6 months they blocking off the street because they're repaving it. I'm like, shit.
Right?
But where's all the
Exactly.
money going? Where you got the congestive trafficking shit that Hochul's doing, and the bridges and tunnels still leaking? Like,
Yeah,
what's
but
happening?
it ain't coming to
They
my
pocketing it.
neighborhood. It's going downtown to the, you know, it's like when I was a kid and it was a snowstorm when I was younger. I knew that me getting to my school was going to be an issue in the Bronx. Like maneuvering those streets in those heavy snowstorms was going to be something. However, I also knew that if I took the train when I got off the subway downtown in Manhattan,
Mm-hmm.
it was going to be clean, like it had
Clear.
never snowed. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's where the money goes.
Yep.
That's where it went,
Yep.
and that's it. It just costs more for us to take care of the big house of Manhattan. But I tell you what, I won't be going to make to any Broadway plays or anything like that. I will go to local theaters right here in New Jersey,
Mhm.
because you know what? It's crazy.
And Philly. Yeah.
And Philly, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway,
That's what we doing.
I'm
You're
saying all
killing
that.
Broadway.
Yeah, I'm just saying that even though I knew that they were not interested in my best interest, they weren't, you
Mhm.
know, I just believed naively that they were going to uphold the Constitution to the point that the government, the structure of the government would remain. Some things
Right.
I was comfortable in, that there would be a president, a vice president, duly elected. There was the Supreme Court, House of Representatives, and Congress would, you know, I believed in the idea of checks and balances. I knew always that there were backdoor dealings and wheelings and crooked shit all the time, and you know, blah blah, you know, the crooked ass people, some drug dealers, some rapists, some this, some that. I know they all fucked up, but at the end of the day, the Constitution is the Constitution until
Mhm.
the Al Gore election with the butterfly Chads, right? And he won the popular vote.
Mhm.
And then there was question about some ballots in a black neighborhood
Mm.
in Florida. And instead of them getting that shit together, they turned it over to the Supreme Court, who put Bush in office. That was the first time in my life that I saw that the president was not elected, he was selected. Rats got more privilege than us. Them ninjas don't even pay rent. That's true. So it always in the back of my mind there was a red flag, but I
Mhm.
felt almost I allowed myself to believe that was a one-off, like what happened there. And then seeing that Obama did get elected, I said, oh, somebody must have fell asleep at the wheel. Whoever, so maybe I was right. Maybe it was a one-off, that thing that happened with Gore, especially when he won the second time.
Right, but then he won again.
I was like, uh oh. But you know what that caused?
That
Them
caused
to
this.
them to say, "Oh hell no."
That's what. Yeah, that's what.
And
caused
that's
it.
why this is where we are today. They have all fallen to the wayside, and they all crooked, and they don't know what they want to do, and they I say go with the flow. You know,
What
look,
flow? Where we going? The flow is going to the swamp.
no,
The
I
flow's
think
going to
no, not
the
for us to
swamp
go
is
with
in
the
the
flow.
is
I
on its
think
way
that
to the White House.
I think they should go with the flow.
He's making his way.
Yeah.
They should go with the flow of the browning of America. They know that our rhythm, our soul, our energy makes everything better. So just go with it. I'm just saying, the music that
What
we
do you
brought to
think the
this
deepest
country.
fear is about, other than more power and control, right? What do you think the deepest fear of that is?
Their
Losing
children.
power and control? Is that your
I say
question?
eliminating, like take aside from, because we know those are the factors. What else could there be?
Their children.
They're afraid of retribution. And like you said, their children, they want their children to inherit the power that they have always enjoyed.
Yeah.
The illusion
Generations.
of being better.
I think they also fear most nonviolent direct action from the people. We proved that this works in the 1960s, and you saw the lengths to which people in power went to try to stop that.
Mhm.
And I think that troubles them just as much as the other two things you guys mentioned, because when the people are mobilized, look at what's going on in South Korea right now.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
people got mobilized, and that's why things are going the way they are.
Yes, I agree with you, Nathan, and that's why they're putting it on the books. They have it on the books that you cannot. They're trying to stop us from being able to what organize. Trying to
Yep.
put that into law.
And not to protest even peacefully.
Yeah.
But you know, Lady Eloise didn't want us protesting anyway because Lady Eloise wanted to shoot brown people in the knees. Can't we just shoot them to make them move so I
Right.
could go take my picture?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
well,
No, you can't shoot them, sir.
and
We'll
interesting.
gas them then. Okay, we can gas them, but we can't shoot them.
Just to be able to say that out loud is just despicable.
And again, this is the person that's going to have control of the suitcase.
And yes, Nandi, peaceful assembly is in the Constitution, but I believe that the
He's trying to get rid of the Constitution.
is in danger.
Yes.
And yes, that is a big reason why they want to get rid of TikTok. They want to get
But
rid
he's
of TikTok.
fighting. No. Yesterday, he put into the Supreme Court to pause for the dismantling of TikTok.
Why?
And I already knew this because it benefits him. That
He can
as much
spread,
as they're trying to say
they
that
spread misinformation like crazy.
yes, even though he's sitting up here trying to act like TikTok's this big bad thing because of China, he knows full well that majority of his people are on TikTok. It's also another place for him to grift because he's the biggest damn grifter ever.
And he can sell things, his socks for $109. It has one toenail in it.
We can't control it, and we're not making any moolah.
They want to, right?
Millionaires.
He said he wants to come together and have a sit down, right? Meaning what? They want to probably purchase it.
That's correct. Trump wants to do things in such a way that he can monetize platforms like TikTok.
Yes,
it has
they're
nothing
gonna
to
buy
do.
it.
It has nothing to do with the welfare of the people or the public discourse whatsoever.
No.
And I think that's going to come out in what the arguments are before the Supreme Court. He's not going to be able to hide the fact that this is for his own, like you said, personal gain.
Yes, period.
Yeah, he says
Totally
Elon has, President Musk has X, and he would like to have TikTok.
Told you, they're gonna buy it. I already knew that when I first heard them say. First of all, let me say this. I don't know, JaVonne, do you remember when we were over here having the movie night with my neighbors?
Yes.
And I brought up, because I kept saying, when should I talk to Jaji would say, did you bring up the book again? I was like, no. When I've told you that I have read the books Left Behind, right? All them years ago, read them consistently, listened to them. I'm an avid Audible listener. And when I listen to these books, all of this stuff that's happening, because we already know, right, Rez, you've said, it's either we are living in the time is right. We're saying that it's either fiction, we're mimicking life, or life is mimicking fiction, right? That book is so to date in all that has been transpiring. So the whole thing with TikTok, X, all of them, he's going to start buying news channel. They're already talking about it's all in that book. Purchasing the news channels to have access to be able to have control of what the people get. The more they can, that's the reason why he was able to get all of these MAGA people to believe the stuff that it was lies. The more you hear it over and over, whether it's a lie or not. I can sit up here and say that blue truck across my street is red. And I'm going to keep saying it's red, and it is blue as day. But if I keep saying it's red, some people are going to say, no, it's red. No, it's not. It's blue.
But that's absolutely Lady Eloise's strategy. That's what she does all day, every day. All she does is repeat the same lie, and they believe her.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. No, they're not. Coming from the people in the state. No, they're not. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
And now they really believe
that they ate the dogs and they eating the cats.
And that's why I think that when he goes into those narcissistic tendencies, right?
Hold on a minute. Can I go off on that? What you just said, Gigi, for a minute?
Yeah.
How on God's green earth did Trump get 77 million Americans to buy that nonsense about eating the dogs, eating the cats? Children are getting gender affirming surgery at school. These things. Who in their right mind believes any of that?
But that's it, Nathan. The point I'm making is they don't hear, they don't see. And
which
it's written.
Which also goes back to Ramaswamy's thing about our culture. They believe.
But I'm not reading literally. I'm not saying literally not reading. They really, their hearts are so blocked by from receiving truth that they can't, no matter if you put it in front of them in black and white, they won't see it. To them, the paper is blank. If you keep saying it, the truth, they don't hear the truth. They only hear what their heart has already been conditioned to hear and see.
The unfortunate part of that is that there's a tremendous, we have to admit there's a tremendous part of our population that needs to be led. Not wants to be.
Correct.
To be led.
Correct.
So in absence of a leader, they will search for someone as opposed to becoming.
That's how cults begin. That's a cult forming right in your face. That's
cognitive dissonance.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
There's a large population of our society that needs to follow. Needs to. Their very existence depends on it. I have to follow something. So whoever shows up the hardest in that paint is who they follow. It has nothing to do with rhyme or reason. Clearly,
no, it doesn't.
That, right?
Yeah,
it is. It is what it is. It's like, wow, okay. And then you have the narcissistic tendencies of whoever that is, mixed with a little subliminal suggestion, and sometimes not so subliminal, repeating itself like anything else. It is the same tactic they use to sell anything.
Yes.
Have you ever been in your car? And I think I said this before. Been in your car and you hear a song that's like, what is that garbage? But then, they play it so much, you now know the lyrics. Same tactic.
But this is what Mustache Man did, right? This is how he was able to take hold and do the things that he did. All Eloise is doing the same replay. You asked Nathan how they do that. Let me tell you, I was on TikTok yesterday. Listen to a woman say, "Oh, babies are being AB'd at 9 months." All I text back was, "In what country or here in the United States that you could tell me what state would allow a child to be a Vietnamese. You can't. It's not happening. But because this is something that Eloise has said, they're going to just keep repeating the nonsense. It's ridiculousness.
9 months, despite the science behind that.
Right. It doesn't even. And then she said something about, oh, well, I know that, you know, something. One of the ladies said, do you know what a stillbirth is? She didn't even know what that was. She had to look it up. And I'm like, and you're a woman and you don't even know how your own body works? Come on. This is so sad where we are. It is so sad.
It has to do with education.
But it's
People
not
are ignorant, man.
clear.
Critical thinking.
Let's just be clear. I don't believe these surveys on who's smart, whatever, has anything to do
I
with
don't. I'm not talking. Yeah, no. I'm not
Right.
talking about who's smart. I'm talking about information, truth, truth.
But you in class, she's the same age as me. When we were in school, we taught health. We learned the body functions of a woman's body.
Well, you know what,
and she claimed she had kids. So how you got 3 kids, but you don't know what a stillbirth is? Like, come on, lady. No,
You know what,
one know time, it, but you don't.
One time, this woman, I was debating somebody that I don't know on some of these social media or something, and the lady said something like, you know, she's going for Lady Eloise because she is anti-AB. And I said, do you understand that this has less to do with birth control and more to do with reproductive health? And women will die. And she said, I bled out. I said, you bled out? She said, yeah. And then I had to adopt. I said, if you bled out, you'd have been dead.
You'd be dead.
You'd be dead. I'm sorry, when you started bleeding, someone took you to the hospital or you got to a doctor some kind of way, and they took care of you and stopped you from bleeding out completely.
Right.
These doctors will not be
doing that now.
People from bleeding out. They will die. Organ failure.
Period.
Well, and she said, we'll just agree to disagree. And you know what? There we go. What's up, Nathan?
Can I just add to one thing? When since we're talking about abortion and Trump's outlandish rantings about these things, which he said in both debates, but the other thing I want to add to that is the way that states are legislating control over women's bodies and how they're criminalizing abortion and DNCs and procedures like this. I want to say this to every woman that is watching this program right now, including the 3 of you.
Come on.
Right now, if you have a period tracking app on your phone, uninstall it, because the data on that app is going straight to somebody like Elon Musk and can be used against you in the future.
Yep. They are tracking your menstrual cycle, correct.
That is where we are going.
Yes. And they need to be tracking for all of you women that, and this doesn't, you don't have to have a man, obviously, to have a baby anymore. But if you so decline, or if you're so inclined, there's another way to stop all this madness from people, you know, from men thinking that they want to take over your autonomy and functions of your body. Because does this make them more entitled to having to, I'm trying to say this, see if I can just talk straight, it would be easier for me than to, you know, kind of say this right so that we don't get blocked or banned or whatever they do. But just hold out, ladies. Just hold out. Don't get off your box. Just
That's
leave
it. That's it.
You know,
find yourself
that's a big boy
an electronic device or little girlfriend. There you go.
Just say no to the idea of it. You know, just say no.
I wanted to address this. Did y'all hear the Washington Journal a couple of days ago? Someone called in to speak to Joe Biden signing some WHO treaty, a pandemic treaty where foreigners aim to own America. They don't want the American dream anymore, certainly not for born Americans. Per the study, all against the age of Aquarius. Constitution that promises all will know truth. They don't want that. An age lasts for 2,600 years. Do they plan to act this way for that long? Feel bonkers. I've not heard about any of that. Anybody else? We've not heard of that, I don't think. You, Nathan? I mean, a lot of foreigners already own a lot of America.
That's true. I haven't heard directly about that, but I have been following the progress of the bird flu virus, and I was rolling my eyes because I said we're going to go through potentially another pandemic with a president who has already proven he is incapable of dealing with a pandemic because we went through COVID. It's just astonishing to me. It really is. And you're right, Terez. A lot of American business interests are owned by foreign entities, and we're barely even aware of this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another thing for Trump to say, for example, he wants to be protectionist. But in the meantime, a lot of that swag he sells his constituents is made in China.
Exactly.
Yeah, most of it.
And
If
what I
not
love
all of
about
it.
what I love about other people's governments is this: like they know they know we are blowing smoke up their hind parts. They know this, you know. Like China sits back and says, "Okay, just as long as your rent keeps coming, because you know what parts and where of some of your major cities we own. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what parts of your corporations we have percentiles in. You know this." So as long as our checks keep getting cut, we don't care what you feed your people to get it done. Because our people clearly don't believe in the rhetoric. They are laughing at us in Mexico. I can say
They're
that.
laughing at us everywhere. The
Everywhere.
Britons, people in Britain were on TikTok saying, somebody asked them, well, what do y'all feel? And they were like, we're over here laughing at America. We don't know what the hell y'all doing over there. We're just in shock. I mean, and look, they signed up for them to remove, I'm not sure if you remember me saying about Texas now no longer able to get any overtime pay for anything that's under less than $58,000. If you make more than $58,656 per year, it says they would have allowed certain workers making less than $58,656 to become eligible for overtime pay if they work more than 40 hours. Nope, strike that down. Like, this is what y'all signed up for.
Do you see the skits that I love where they are cartoon skits and they run the
Yes.
gamut on the internet?
Yes,
and
yes.
Veronica is one of the voices.
Yes,
Veronica?
yes.
Veronica for president. I am going to start
Yes.
sharing those because whoever, and I forget her name, I was supposed to, write it down so I could say it. But I'm gonna post them on my thing because Veronica says exactly what is needed to her boss.
Yes,
every
she
time
does.
she comes in and asks certain
For
things.
something stupid.
And then she applies the same rule, like, just simply like one quickly is that, she gave her 2 weeks notice I'm sorry, she gave her resignation in. She didn't give 2 weeks notice. So her supervisor comes over to her and says, "Oh, we're going to need 2 weeks notice." So she's like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, I'm starting right away." I'm paraphrasing, of course. So she goes, "Well, you can get penalized if you don't give the 2 weeks notice." So Veronica's like, "Well, what exactly would happen if I didn't give the 2 weeks notice?" He goes, "Oh, you'd be eligible for rehire." So, so Veronica was like, "Well, you can bet your bottom dollar," and I'm using the words carefully, but that will never be a problem. I will never want to be rehired here. So you can go ahead and have that. And by the way, when you fired Elizabeth last week, did you give her
Right.
This far benefits you more than like it's the okey doke, and when you're all doing the same thing, it's easy to get caught up in the okey doke. So all of your consciousness gets taken away from the masses, from the masses. And it's like, wow. So to have an independent thought in a corporation, you have to fight for that. Fight for one to keep your own, and then fight for like-mindedness. You know, because the status quo, the wheel has to turn, and that's the direction they're pushing everybody in the wheel. So they make up bullshit on PR levels, HR, like things that just do not support the worker, do not support the country. They just don't. Yeah. And because enough of us say it and want to do it, so be it. So be it. And it's
I love Veronica.
Yeah, I love Veronica. Veronica is like for president. She needs to be for president. Because out of that comes like, listen, this doesn't work for me. Well, what does work for you? And you have an honest dialogue. But this crap watching right now in the world, I'm just sitting back, I'm going, wow, okay. So, and if we come out of this with anything less than just a better way of treating each other, you know.
Right.
We're going to go kicking and screaming, though. Please believe. Please believe. We're going kicking and screaming. And how much collateral damage is the key, you know. Just minimize the collateral damage, but we know that car is crashing, right? We can see the car a million miles an hour going into that damn bush. We can see that.
Like they say, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. So these are the stupid prizes everybody's about to get.
Yeah. There's definitely gonna be some interesting stuff going on in the next few months. I think January definitely is gonna be hell. In the next 2 weeks is gonna be really interesting, just seeing what comes up. But I think, you know, in terms of the election, the outcome is the outcome. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be any different. However, I do think there's going to be an implosion that's going to be very interesting to watch. The House of Representatives has, for the past, I'd say 4 or 5 years, been just a goddamn shit show.
Who are they representing?
Themselves, like assholes. And the Senate has not been much better. There have been some champions like Miss Crockett, you know, and there are some reasons to hold on to hope that the country can get its shit together. Eventually, we'll probably all be long gone by the time that happens, if ever. There's always going to be shenanigans because there's always going to be human beings. And people are just fucking interesting, I'll say.
Good word. Good word.
Do not expect even a CR, much less a floor vote on a bill in the month of January in the House of Representatives, because they're going to be throwing their phones at each other all month. Yeah. They're not going to be doing any meaningful legislation at all.
They haven't done any. Really.
They haven't, right? And that's the crazy part. People don't even realize that. They still say, they did. No, they haven't passed anything. They passed nothing under Trump last time. Nothing. Like what?
Yeah, and you know, he kept all his promises. He didn't keep not one damn promise except that he was going to be an asshole. So, you know, it is what it is. Now, since we've been talking about this, I want to do a Black History moment, and because we were talking about the browning of America. So let's look at this for a second. Okay, let me just first introduce you to the idea of this gentleman. His name was George Henry White. He was the last African American that would serve in Congress for decades after the implementation of disenfranchisement laws at the end of the 19th century following the Reconstruction era. He died on December 28th in 1918 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the age of 66. He was born in 1852 in North Carolina. George Henry White was the only African American elected to the 55th Congress from 1897 to 1899. He was a representative of North Carolina's 2nd Congressional District And as Democrats, and remember back then, the Democrats of then were the Republicans of now. You remember they did a swap of the thing. But anyway, as they regained control of state legislatures in the South and the disenfranchised African Americans with laws that prevented them from voting. So they started changing the laws, and Mr. White knew that his second term in Congress would be his last one. He made a powerful statement. He said, "This, Mr. Chairman, is perhaps the Negro's temporary farewell to the American Congress, but let me say, Phoenix-like, he will rise up someday and come again." And he left Congress in March of 1901 and was correct in that it was a temporary farewell, although it was a very long one. It was 28 years before another African American would be elected, and another African American congressman from North Carolina would not be elected until Eva Clayton in 1992. Okay, in 1990. White was a graduate. So let me just show you really quickly something. Hold your horses. That's not what I wanted to show you. I know, always doing too damn much. Share my screen, share the screen. Let's share that. I'll get it eventually, y'all.
Eyewitness News continues to honor the contributions of African Americans to the Tar Heel State during Black History Month. And today we explore the story of a man who made a big impact on our country, but is mostly forgotten in Bladen County.
Tim Pulliam shows us how George Henry White made his mark in Congress by going back to his hometown.
In the late 1800s, North Carolina native George Henry White served 2 terms as the nation's only elected Black representation in Congress until 1901. White, a Republican who was born a slave, also introduced the country's first anti-lynching bill. His legacy stretches past Congress. He started a law practice and a commercial bank for Blacks up north, and he founded the town of Whitesboro, New Jersey. But for decades in White's birthplace of Rosendale, Bladen County, just 1 hour south of Fayetteville, he seemed forgotten.
Even though he left, you still honor a person's home.
In 2010, Dorothy Bryan, a researcher of White's history, told me the county's disregard of any physical recognition of him was embarrassing.
And I cannot understand why those people have not awakened to a native son's achievements.
Fast forward to 2020, this is the George Henry White Memorial Center in Bladen County. It's a place where the community can gather for educational workshops, health and wellness seminars, all while honoring White's legacy.
Needs to be something to do to uplift his name. We was concerned that he's sort of overlooking the mainstream of American history.
Vincent Spalding from Durham is a descendant of White. He saw the story and Bryan's comments.
That touched my heart.
In 2014, his family launched a $120,000 fundraising campaign to renovate this donated home. So far, they've raised half of that, with the goal of officially opening at the end of the year.
Well, we feel really good about that. His determination, his motivation to empower people through economic opportunities.
And Spalding says the GHW Center will also be a place where the community can get access to food. Bladen County's poverty rate is double the national average. George Henry White's legacy, living on in his birth county, a landmark that will aim to help others like he did. In Bladen County.
So yeah, I wanted to share that. And you know, yes, Nandi, every week we try to, you know, bring back someone who we should know. I feel bad that I didn't know about George Henry White and his legacy. That's big. That's big.
Yeah.
And that he stood up and said, you know, okay, y'all got it. But I'm not gonna be the last one. I know my people. We will rise again. You are not We're not going out like that because they were afraid of the browning of America back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so this thing is cyclical. It happens over and over again, but we've come really, really far. And I think it's important to remember that. Whereas when he was alive, he was the only one. The House of Representatives is full of beautiful brown, not just men, but women as well.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big, big difference. So let it also serve as a reminder of how far we've come. It's easy to say, damn, every time we take a step forward, they try to push us back. But look how many steps back they would have to push us back to where he was.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? This is still like that slingshot. They can pull it back, but when you release it, it goes so much further. They pulled back the slingshot during his time, in his last days of Congress, and we're at the precipice of that, the ending of that, the spot of that, and now they pulling it back again. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's going to take another 90, 80 years. It's going to happen even faster because we've moved.
Mm-hmm.
We've moved. So they can only do but so much. How you doing, Gabby? We have been talking about
so much.
Everything.
All I can say is, try to catch the rerun, like on you clearly are on YouTube. So when this is done, if you're interested in what's going on in America politically, then definitely check us out. Look at the show because we covered a lot of the shenanigans, the infighting, and
what brand of popcorn you need.
Yes, plenty of popcorn. I'm not like butter, sweet. If you like the sweet and buttery, or but get your popcorn ready.
Exactly. And I just want to address Mona Lisa. I'm not really into any dissing of anything and any music that disses something, So no. But keep at it somewhere. Somewhere there's somebody that's interested in that. What we are interested in is moving forward and respecting one another, respecting our people, all of our people. And that's what we're about, celebrating the life and legacy of our people, and getting together and articulating our concerns and our hopes and wishes for the future, and just enjoying each other and having a good time. That's what you're about. We love music, we love culture. That's just what it is. And Gabby says she was just talking about the government too. Wow, crazy that I just found you all. Well, Gabby, thank you. Make sure you hit that bell, subscribe, do all that stuff so that you never have to miss us again. All right. So another thing that I said I wanted to do, because we are coming down to the wind down, is I wanted to celebrate 2 basement alumni here today. Right? So the first one is someone who did not come on by his lonesome. He came on with his friends from the set of Noah's Ark. And so with that, I'm going to play
that show.
The rapid fire that we did with all of them, all that came on that particular day. All right, now hold on. Here we go again. It's a video this time. And this time, Noah's Ark, where are you? Come on. I can do it. I know I can do it. Y'all got faith in me.
You got this. You got this. You got this.
Oh man, come on, come on. Here we go. Rapid fire with Noah's Ark. Here we go. Let's check this out.
We want to play a game with all three of y'all that is infamous for this show. And just so you know, this is an international radio show, right? Internet radio show. And we play this game called Rapid Fire, right? And it's a word association game. And how it works is that I'll say word and you say what immediately comes after. Now, you don't think about it. It's just what comes up for you, right? So I'm going to say some words and then JaVonne is going to say some words. And because we have three of you, this is unique. This is our first time doing it with three people. So I'm going to say a word and then Rodney's going to say a word. Jensen, you're going to say a word. And Jania, then you're going to say what immediately comes to mind. Okay?
Okay.
Look at Jensen like, yeah. That's generally the response we get from everybody, but we keep it clean. And we just
not necessarily on purpose.
It gives folks a peek behind the veil, you know, and to just know what you connect what thoughts with. So let me know when you're ready. Okay. Black people.
Powerful. Sorry.
Okay. There we go. That's one.
Y'all supposed to say the word. Y'all supposed to think like
Rodney
that.
goes first.
I know, but you was taking too long.
Oh, I thought I went first.
I know, but you was taking too long. You supposed to give it to me.
Oh,
the first word that comes to mind.
Yes.
Okay. A lot.
A lot. Okay.
Jania?
Beautiful.
Love.
Happiness.
Honesty.
Deep.
Community.
Family.
Evolving.
Togetherness.
Ooh. Grace.
God.
Favor.
Togetherness. Togetherness. Okay.
The industry.
Crazy.
Hard.
Changing.
Sex.
Ooh.
Always.
The most fun you can have with your body.
You're up next, JaVonne.
You didn't, Jensen, you didn't answer.
Jensen, you didn't say nothing.
I said, ooh, that's a reaction. That's something, right?
I call ooh a word. I use it all.
O-H.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Personality.
Outgoing.
Together.
Individual.
Vibe.
Cool.
Happy.
Introspective.
Spirituality.
Essential.
Love.
Yes.
Breathing.
Homosexuality.
Gay.
Natural.
A lot. Let's just say a lot.
Chaka Khan.
What?
Let me rock you.
Khan. What'd you say?
Let me rock you.
Okay.
Timeless.
I didn't hear what you said.
Chaka Khan.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
I am Jensen Atwood, and you are watching In the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
One take. Thank you, Jensen.
Loved it.
Hi, I'm Rodney. You're watching The Basement. Stay tuned.
Okay.
The basement.
All right.
JaVonne and Terez.
Thank you. Thank you, Rodney.
That one's gonna play
I
a
can
lot.
hardly hear.
Jania.
Hey, what's up? This is Jania Frederica Ponte, and you're watching The Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Thank you.
Gay love. How am I going to be believable being gay when I can't even, bring it up in my psyche? And so it was a full circle that I had to kind of come around to, because what I do know love.
Mm-hmm.
I know love probably more than I want to know love. Heartbreak and the whole nine.
Yeah.
I love deep and I love hard. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and so it was like, well, what's the difference?
Facts. I was going to ask you, what is gay love? But yeah, facts.
But again, I know it sounds dumb now that I'm saying it 15 years later, but at the time, it was like, whoa, like, how am I going to do this? So I stuck with what I knew, which was love.
Right.
And it was clear there was no difference.
Facts.
So that was my, preparation, if anything.
I love that little baby.
So, in addition to it being Rodney's birthday today, it is also this lady's birthday, and let me find it. I could do it. I could do it. I could do it. Do it. Do it. I could do it. I could do it. Where are you? Come on, I know you up. There you go.
Hi, this is Martha Wash, and you're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Miss Wash, we have a game that we like to play on this show. It's called Rapid Fire. And it's a word association game, right? That we play with all of our guests. And it just gives our audience an opportunity to look behind the veil. It's like a little peek behind the veil of what's going on. So how it works is I'll say a word, then you say what immediately comes to mind. I'll pick 5 words. It's like a call and response. I'll pick 5 words, and then JaVonne will pick 5 words.
Okay.
Yeah? All right. Cool. This is going to be different because I'm going to ask this question. Analog or digital?
Analog.
God.
Yes.
Touring.
Hard.
Sylvester.
Fond memories.
Paradise Garage.
Yes.
More fond memories, huh?
Disco. Disco.
Yes.
That's mine right there. That's mine right there. JaVonne, you're up next.
Okay. I will go with music.
Life.
Harmony.
Beautiful.
Success.
I guess I'm not that rapid anymore. Lord. I'll take it.
Black people.
My people.
Voice.
Oh. Oh, that could go a couple of different ways.
Well, what was the first word?
I I want to say beautiful as well because that can go in a whole lot of different directions.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna steal one more. Love.
We all need.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Because I put out music and the first thing somebody says, well, where's the remix? Ain't no damn remix. Leave the song. Appreciate what I have put out here now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The thing is, I've never, ever wanted to be just categorized into one particular genre of music because I grew up listening to different kinds of music. Now, as a child, I could only listen to gospel music because it was a very strict religious household. I started sneaking in 45s into my house through my book bag, you know, and listening to the radio on my transistor.
Tell it.
Folks know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
That's it.
yes.
You know, the youngins, they don't know nothing about that.
They don't know nothing about that.
You know, but that's how I learned about appreciating different kinds of music. So
All right, party people. Now I don't remember how to unpresent this.
Shout out to Rodney Chester and the legendary Martha Wash. Happy birthday to you both.
Happy birthday.
Born day.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
You know, it's a wonderful thing to have those rapid fires and get a peek behind the veil and just to have those fond memories. I think, you know, we've been blessed. The show has been blessed, and we need to keep up the blessing. And with that, it is now after 1:00, I believe it should be. And we will move on. Thank you so much, Nathan, for bringing the new information, and Gigi for keeping it popping and on. Thank you to Rez for being my partner in crime and in good deeds. And thank you all of you listening, watching from wherever you are listening and watching, for joining us on this fabulous day.
Can we do one last thing, Jay, before we sign off?
Okay.
30 seconds?
Sure.
Can each of us give a word, what we'd like to see evolving, like a rapid fire for 2025?
Sure.
Starting with you.
Can I go last?
You sure can. Can Gigi, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. So
Awesome.
I want to wish everyone a happy new year. I would like to see peace. I would like to see more love. I would like to see more understanding. That's what I would like to see in 2025.
Okay. Nathan? Uh-oh, can't hear you.
You're on mute.
Yeah.
How's that? I'd like to wish everyone a happy, healthy, safe, and prosperous 2025. May we all come through it with all the best that our world has to offer. I hope for perseverance. I hope for diligence. I hope for unity and kindness and empathy. And most of all, I hope for a restoration of the democracy we once were once we get through what is before us.
Well, I'd like to wish everybody a happy holiday. It's going to be physical, mental, and spiritual health, and love and support. Also, peace of mind and collective unity for the greater good.
I love that. Just really peace of mind, prosperity, humbleness, humility. Not for me, but for everybody else. I've learned that when you ask for humility, God humbles you. Life humbles you. So I want everybody else to be humble this year. And I would like peace of mind for my own self. And I think in order for me to be at peace, all the things that you've wished will come true. And with that, bye 2024.
Bye.
You ain't gotta leave. Well, you do gotta leave. Peace. Okay? See y'all next week.
Love you.
Love you too.
Hi, everybody. You're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. This is Melba Moore.
Still in the basement, no longer alone, with my homegirl Terez on the microphone. Music, politics, or just chatting it up. Brunch in the basement, see that's what's up. You never know who might run through. Legendary artist or someone brand new. You miss a lot when you miss one day. At least that's what I heard somebody say. But it doesn't really matter what whoever says. It's always a good show with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Brunch in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Let's see who we got today.
Come on, everybody's a friend in my head. I already know everybody.
Whatever it is, it's gonna be good.
One day I'll tell you about me and Shaka Khan, but you know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but she doesn't know anything about it. But anyway. No, she doesn't. She wasn't even there actually. But anyway.
All our bosses though, Jay. Like, she got our ears and
I'm gonna send y'all some tomorrow. I'll definitely get an address. I'll send y'all out tomorrow.
You can send me some cologne, because I mean, you know. Yeah. Just in case I should meet Shaka Khan, I want to smell really, you know, nice.
Oh God.
Okie dokie, babe. Whatever you say. The time, so
and we thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you. This part, that little piece, I'm just gonna keep and play it all the time for myself. But no, I'm just teasing.